Hi there everyone, welcome to the 13th Academia School Simulator Dev Blog. It's your boy Neil, one of the programmers in Squeaky Wheel, an independent PC game development studio based in the Philippines. It's been 3 months since our last dev blog, and I am proud to announce that we released Academia School Simulator on Alpha 3 a couple of days ago. And that means we have a lot to cover today. That being said, let's get started. Let's open up with a huge change in Academia's user interface. This update should make it easier for you to see the different categories of objects and zones for the building panel, the different types of staff for the staff population panel, and the different tier levels for the schedule and the overall student population panel. We also updated the department or the hard teacher panel so that it's easier to compare the current teachers you have in each of your departments with the teachers available for hiring. One of the things I love with the new department panel is this blue arrow button that allows you to move the teacher to and from the teacher's pool, which is very convenient. Speaking of teachers, higher level teachers are now only available at higher school ranks, so you better create the best school to have the best teachers. We also added a research mechanic to give you some challenge and a choice on what you want to prioritize on. Whether it's unlocking all available zones first, optimizing your workers or your janitors, or if you want, you can unlock all the research related to design to make your school the most visually appealing school out there. For our completionists and achiever friends, we got you covered with our newly implemented achievements. There are now dozens of achievements for you to unlock, ranging from number of staff, number of school years finished, school rank, and more. There's even one for having your school closed down because of running out of money. You can access the achievements panel from the main menu or by building a trophy case, selecting it, and opening the panel from there. Coming up next, we did some balancing with the grants. We adjusted the cash advance to give you more allowance on building the requirements for the grant, the completion bonus to give you more rewards on fulfilling the tasks, the prestige to further boost up your school in the rankings, and lastly, the cancellation penalty to give you more challenge and pressure on completing the grants. More on balancing, we adjusted the damages and the recovery of the needs for the students following the issues with students experiencing extreme hunger. Just a tip on optimizing your school, make sure that your cafeterias are close to your rooms so that it won't take a lot of travel time. And of course, be sure to have sufficient objects on both your kitchens and your cafeterias. Our designer Tristan Angeles made a short guide on how to solve this problem. You can find the link in the description below. Moving on, we have a lot of new zones to talk about. Let's start with special rooms. We now have a total of 10 special rooms that your students can use in their classes. We have the art room to give the students a place to hone their artistic creativity through painting, common area to relax, play around, and meet new friends, computer lab so that the students can play around those CRT monitors we all enjoyed years ago, library because books are still the foundation of knowledge, music room because life is beautiful with the sound of music, and the science lab because these children have to learn how to mix chemicals properly and observe the beauty of the micro world. Lastly, to complement a healthy mind, we need a healthy body. Students can now do their PE classes in the field to do hundreds of jumping jacks, in the basketball court to practice shooting and camaraderie, in the swimming pool to tone those muscles and build up endurance, in the track to run around and race against each other. Oh, and hey, don't forget to add some hand sanitizers so that the students can somehow clean themselves after all these activities. With all those new zones and new objects that come with each of them, you might run out of money. Don't worry though, you can now hire an accountant to cover those bank loans that you will need in running your school. Just make sure you have an office built where the accountant can do all of the accounting stuff. After applying for the most expensive bank loan available and building the school of your dreams, you now have a school that the students can call their second home. A place where they can find new friends, play with them, and maybe fall in love. The newly implemented student relationship system now allows students to fall in love with their peers and have their hearts broken, which will affect their motivation and willingness to learn. Or they can cherish a deep, meaningful, and lovely relationship that they will enjoy for the rest of their school years if they remain satisfied and don't decide to break up along the way. Speaking of satisfaction, we also implemented the dropouts mechanic, where if your school can satisfy your students' needs, they might drop out and cause you to lose those lovely tuition and subsidy fees, which are not the only reason you accepted them, right? Jokes aside, be sure you have enough cafeteria space, enough food served, enough toilet slots, special rooms, chairs for resting, janitors to keep your school clean, and monitors or counselors to help those delinquents find their way back to the correct way of life. Wow, we tackled a lot of updates already. Wouldn't it be great if there's a place that we can keep track of everything that's happening in our school? You mean something like the new reports panel, where you can see all the classrooms with the class size and seats available, the learning bonus, and other subject information of each room. There's also the delinquency tab, where you can see how many monitors you have, the number and types of delinquents in your school, and if your counselors are working. In the sanitation tab, you can see how many janitors you have, the number and types of, in your school, and the capacities of your trash cans and trash dumpsters. Next is the toilet tab, where you can see all the toilets in your school, the number of daily usage, and how much having toilets is costing you per day. In the clinic tab, you can see a list of your nurses, number of sick students, and information about your clinics. In the kitchen and cafeteria tabs, you can see the number of cooks you have, the number of zones with the objects in them, and the electricity and water costs per day. Lastly, in the satisfaction tab, you can see how many of your students are happy, how many are unhappy and why, and the number of students who dropped out with some information on why they left. You can also press on this I button in order to zoom in on a specific zone you want to take a look at. With the use of the new zones, new objects, and the reports panel, you are now equipped with the tools to best your rival school. This is a new feature we added to give more life into the school rankings and to annoy you when your students drop out to go to your rival school. Last but not the least, we added new skin tones to increase the racial diversity of your schools. Note that this only affects new students and new staff. So if you're wondering where they are, you will have to wait until the start of the next school year. On that note, thank you so much for watching this video, and if you like what you see and you're liking the game so far, please do help us out by pressing that like button, tweeting about the game, sharing this video on Facebook, and all that good social media stuff. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell beside it to be notified of the next dev vlog, which will be out in the next couple of months. Once again, this is Neil, and with that, thank you again, and I'll see you in the next one.